think it started. Let's see if it started. Boom! We're live today. Another Off the Lip radio show number 635.
635.
This guy was on show number 2.
Believe it.
Do you remember who you were on show number 2 with? You remember that?
I was with. Who was I with?
You remember? It was TC, me.
And then was it the sheriff guy?
Yeah. Steve Gagnon.
Gagnon and
remember, it was TC's neighbor.
Right when I was rehabilitated.
You were.
I got rehabilitated. That's what they used to call jail, rehabilitation.
I don't know about that. I came out there. Remember, I even came out there to see you.
We should have done a show there. Behind the glass.
Should we go back?
Do it behind the glass.
Should we go back? You don't want to go back there.
Hell no. I'm done with that. It's overrated. Forget it. I don't.
Do you think back? Do you think back about those days?
Of course I do.
You do? Do you really?
Yeah, of course I do. I mean,
there's no future in the past, though. You know that, right?
No, but it's good to know your past, and it's good to reflect on it, and also your past and those experiences and your wisdom. You can share that wisdom with other people. But
give me three things. Give me 3 things you remember that other people should know about that.
Well, first of all, jail's overrated.
Jail is overrated.
There's nothing cool about it. So
even though they said that place was cool, it's kind of a country club.
There's nothing cool about it.
You didn't like it.
You're told when to get up, told when to eat, what to eat, when to go to bed. Yeah, no.
You didn't like it.
But on the other side of it, it could be a good spot to get your head back together, and if you use it for the right thing, which is for me was to get myself centered again.
Yeah.
So that was the second thing, and the third thing was just I used it, to learn about myself.
Yeah.
And get self-awareness, and then take the tools that I learned there out in the real world again, and to make changes.
You got better after that. How things changed for you?
Yeah, just nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever perfect, but at least I have the awareness to understand and not go back to something that didn't honor me or help me.
Was that 10 years ago?
2012 is when I got out, so 10 years ago. Yeah, that's crazy.
Remember that time? Remember that time with Rocky Romano, and remember that?
I told you not to bring that up.
I'm bringing it up. Fuck it. I remember that guy. That guy was a
Yeah, it was just. We'll just say it wasn't a pleasant person.
You know why I'm bringing it up? Because things are coming back for me right now. Remember Jeannie O'Malley and that?
Sure.
Remember that?
Sure, the breathing, all that. Those were all great tools. The breathing was a great tool for me to get me going in a good direction, which gave me something to be, feel good about myself, and then having the opportunity to help other people. That's something that's important. Even to this day, doing stuff with Baliola and Operation Surf is important for me to keep that going because of
and the board riders.
And then we got a club thing going, which is awesome, man. We're going down there for the championship this weekend, but that also is good because it gets the community of the generations together. That that I would never know these kids, and they wouldn't know me, and we get to go down south together, and there's a different community. It's a community thing, and we try to make it fair, and we have fun with it, and the possibilities are great with the club, and it's fun. It's a fun thing.
Yeah, the kids too, huh?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we'll have the Cinco de Barney Day. We support that one.
Yeah, that's coming up, huh?
Our show for the kids, and we have prizes. We do a barbecue at the lane. And we did last year. We did a river cleanup, and sometimes we do.
So you're doing it's not just surfing. You're doing stuff in the community with the kids.
Yeah, and we try to add more and more as we get bigger and bigger.
And the cold boy's coming back this year.
Yes, and our first club event will be during the cold water. We're going to combine it.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Really?
Which will be really awesome.
What are they going to do?
Well, they'll have the cold water. I think the plan is to have the cold water
3 days,
and the cold water on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday have our event.
Yeah.
So everybody who's up for so you can have
your event. Is it going to invite the clubs from down south?
Yeah.
So it's going to be
So how it is now is there's so many clubs, they've broken up in divisions, just like a sport does. Football, baseball, basketball, you have divisions. So there's 4 divisions now in California. We're the northern division, obviously, which includes San Luis Obispo, Ventura, and Santa Barbara.
Right.
So there's 4 in each division. And so, the 4 that's in our division will come up and surf. There's 3 contests this year in each division.
Yeah.
Winner gets to go to the championship, and then the next top highest placing club out of the 4 divisions is a wild card. They take second place from every division, and the next top wildcard point leader will go into a day before the championship. They surf for a spot. So it's kind of cool. And then now they, instead of the West Coast champions, which they have, you have the U.S. champions because you got the East Coast doing it.
Right.
So this year will be the first.
It's a national thing.
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. And now Australia's getting involved.
Really?
Rabbit got a hold of everybody, and they picked 3 clubs out of California to send down to Snapper Rock.
Wow.
To go surf against their clubs and they're under their format.
Yeah.
And so basically they said.
Is there a contest? Is there a spot for you guys to surf too?
No, but what they're doing is because get the whole club to go down there, it's a lot of money. So for this, at this point, to get it going, is they sent 4 people from 3 clubs they picked. And so we're gonna obviously pick the best 4. One girl and 3 women. I mean 1 woman and 3 guys.
And you guys looking for sponsors?
Yeah, when we get to that, so it's going to be next year.
Yeah.
I think it's next January. So what they got is airfare. I think we just got to come up the airfare for the guys and the girl we send down there.
Yeah.
And they got accommodations and everything set for them. So
nice.
What we'll do is a fundraiser for them.
Perfect.
And get their air tickets.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Let us know how we can help.
Yeah, it'll be awesome, man.
I talked to somebody the other day. I'm not mentioning names. He said I saw Ruffo surfing the other day. He goes, he's as smooth as ever.
Oh, that's rad. I mean, I'm almost 60 now. I'm getting up, and you always hear about when you get older.
I'm 65.
You hate to admit it, but it can't fight age, But what you can do is prolong your surfing.
Yeah, you can go to yoga. You can stretch.
Do all the things.
If you don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. But and I'm lucky because I've made my life built around the ocean, so I'm able to surf a lot.
Is your mom still around?
No, she passed away.
She passed away. I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, she helps. She's bless her heart, man, because she's.
You were close to your mom.
The driving force into what
right.
I'm able to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot. I was just telling you, I have a lot of money, but I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Well,
I'm happy.
You know what, Roof? It's about the quality of life.
True.
It's about the quality of life.
I agree.
I remember my sister told me that. She was older than me. She's Neil. She grabbed me by the ear. She asked me what the quality of my life was. I said, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got money. Blah, blah, blah. No. What's the quality of your life? I thought about it. I go, it's shit. So I quit my well-paying job and decided to do this and write for surf columns.
And you're happy.
Yeah.
You're happier now, and there's your quality.
I'm around the ocean, I can sit and talk to a roof. I can do whatever, a lot of good things.
Yeah, and as you get older, you realize that too. It's something that you can't pay for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to make a lot of money and all that, but if you can't enjoy it, then what's it worth?
Yeah.
So,
and you've been through a lot.
I thought of it was self-inflicted, but I've also had a lot of great experiences. I have a ton of friends everywhere. I wouldn't change nothing.
Your friends that you had before, right? Remember that court? I remember I was in the courtroom when you were. I remember that day you were in court, and I was there. And then those friends that you were there. There was a Flea was there, and I think Anna Plug was there. A bunch of guys were there. They're still all your friends. They're
100%.
still stuck with you, didn't they?
Totally.
Not one person disappeared. Not one person. Yeah, right. Not one person left, huh?
No, they all stuck with me, and they just were supporting me, and they also did the right thing, which is when somebody's in a certain spot, you can't enabling somebody. Meaning is for me, I needed to learn, and going to jail, and fortunately, was the best thing for me. And thank God I wasn't going to prison.
Yeah.
But I was going to county jail, which I used in a big way. So they did the right thing by stepping out of the way, supporting me when they needed to, and then also said, "I'll be here when you're ready."
Right.
And guys like Barney and them, they would come show. It meant a lot to me. But they did the right thing by just letting me go through my thing, and then when I come out the other side,
they were there for you.
It's like a triathlon,
Yeah.
We all finish at a different time, but people cheer you on.
Right.
So,
They're there at the finish line.
Yeah, it's like.
What do you think kids are facing? What's the worst thing kids are facing nowadays that you see?
I mean, they still face the same stuff we did, which is, there's drugs, there's pills, there's fentanyl out there.
That shit's nasty.
It's and then too, bullying. There's a lot of, we've all been bullied at some point or another, I'm sure. And then, it's the same stuff, and they're facing, the COVID thing must have been, I would imagine what it'd be like as a kid not having school every year.
Right.
And trying to get back into the school thing and just, having that social distance and not. Some kids, that was development time to learn how to cope with people and deal with emotions and all the things and stuff.
What do you think VC would think about nowadays of surfing?
How would he
How would he?
He would definitely be going to jail. And I always tell stories about Vince because those were good days, man. Because you realize back, it wasn't even that long ago, but it really is.
No.
The 80s and 90s, and it was a lot different here, and the rules were different, and you were okay to have a fist fight, but that's what it'd be.
You can't.
It wouldn't be like I'll be back with my gun, or
right.
I'm going to come stab. It would be a fist fight, and half the time guys would be friends after that.
Yeah, right.
But
they'd laugh. What are we doing fighting?
Yeah, what I mean. But then it also kept the line up in check. There wasn't all this entitlement. I just started surfing when I power around. I get it. Surfing's for everybody, but it's also a selfish sport. There's only so much room in certain breaks at certain times.
Surfers are selfish.
And policing it in the way it was some of it got too out of hand with certain localisms, but a good bust your fin out kind of thing if you got out of hand was okay. I mean, I had my fins busted out by guys who made my boards, like JT.
He busted.
But you learn really quick at a young age, like they're up,
right?
And even if they got a good one, they're up again,
right?
But as soon as you learned that and showed that, you understood that,
that's not around.
You got your waves.
Yeah.
You also got your waves, and they gave you waves, and then in the end you were part of the rotation. But if you didn't learn that, man, it was a boom. And back then, glass on fins, you're out of the water. I was telling the story how Vince one of the first times I was hanging out with Vince, started hanging out with him.
He let you into a circle?
Yeah, so I was like, I was probably 17 or something. And anyway, we drove his truck down from his house to the lane. He had a big blue truck, and we were surfing in twin fin days. And I remember he caught this wave. It was South Swell, and he caught this wave, and I was way out in the shoulder paddling out. He saw me, and he just S'd it. He saw me and just came up with, just sprayed me, just like literally just missed my face,
Right,
that was
right.
it. He was laughing. I was like, oh, that's funny. And so later on in the surf sesh, he just happened to be where I did a turn. I didn't go out looking for him. But it was funny because he was right there, and I think it was, I got it. I'm gonna get him back here. And I sprayed him. It was just right. He happened to be there. So I paddled back out, and he's out in the point pack, his back to me, and I come paddling out. And right when I get to everybody, and there's no set, he just turns around and grabs my board and goes, "Don't you ever spray me!" I'll snap. And I was like, "Whoa!" I come off my board. He grabs my board, breaks my fin out. And I go, "Whoa, dude, what'd you do that for? Don't ever spray me." And I just go, "Wow!" And I'm thinking, "Wow, what a dick!" Like I just went surf. I'm okay with you. So I had to go in, and I'm sitting, and the car's locked, so I have to sit by the car, the truck.
Oh, because he drove you down.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there waiting for him, in the back of the truck, waiting there, in the bed. He comes walking up, laughing, and I go, "Dude, like that was unnecessary." He's all. He goes, "You don't get it, do you? If I let you get away with that, then everybody thinks they can do that to me."
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I didn't get it at first. But there was two things I took. One is the rules don't apply to him.
Yeah.
But the other thing is he's right. If he's the king,
yeah,
he's gonna set the rules. You can't do that. He can't allow that. And so anyway, I got it. But he looked at me, and goes, "Let's go fix your fin," and we fixed it. But that's the kind of.
He had such a soft side, though.
Totally. He
came on the show. If you came on the show like 3 or 4 times, I think maybe you were even there. I don't remember. But he had a soft side about him.
Well, as he got older, he definitely got softer.
Right?
He got softer.
He did.
He got softer. But in his heyday, there was like undisputed, man, like Mike Tyson in the lane.
Yeah.
Not only with his, surfing was killer. He ripped. And Richie Schmidt at the time, they were like the two best guys, but they were two different characters,
Opposites.
And they were really good friends. But the way they held, went around town or surfed around the world, they made a name for this town. But Richie was more calculated, calm, and more of a diplomat.
He's quiet.
Quiet,
yeah.
And his whole thing was about Hawaii. And as soon as Vince found Mavericks, and that whole thing, Hawaii was done. It was all about staying here. But they were complimenting each other by being that yin and the yang,
Right.
And they really laid the footing of professional surfing in Santa Cruz, and the pillar, the bars being set, and all that. When first time I went to Australia, I get the bells. And I meet the guy who owns I think it was the Rip Curl shop. I'm with some guys, and we're in there, and the shop, brand new shop, and it was like, I think it was 85, maybe 86. And the guy, he goes, "Oh, you're from," he was like the owner guy. He starts, "I'm from Santa Cruz," and he starts, "You don't think?" I go, "Yeah, he's my good friend." "Oh man, what hell of a bloke that guy!" And he was just going on and on about raving about how rad he was, and I get it because he fit into their.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was the contest was huge. That one year that he was here, and I remember Vince got 9th or but he rode a twin fin, and I remember he did some remarkable, back then, jet skis, and
right.
you had to paddle out, and I think he rode a small twin fin, lost the board, came in, grabbed someone's board off the beach, paddled back out, and everybody just loved him for his brawl, how gnarly he was. And
you guys, you and that group fit that era. That era would not be allowed. That era would not be allowed out here.
Yeah, it was a different time, going to it was cool because there was rivalries, but yet there was respect within the rivalry, like there was still, even though like you knew somebody, there was a rivalry, you know what I mean? Like East Side, West Side, we loved each other, but there's still that rivalry.
Did you ever go back and watch the West Side movie? You ever watch that?
Yeah, that was a little bit blown up. But
a
little blown up. But Vince is a great actor. Yeah. But some of it was true. There was, based a lot of it. I think it was more. I think
when I got out of that movie after watching it a couple of times, it wasn't about the surfing. It was about coming from a broken home.
Well, yeah, everybody has a story. We know that. We all have stories. And their stories were definitely true. And I think the thing I was talking about was, the guy Jeff Ayers, he was a rad and gnarly person. There was a couple blown up moments in it, but the truth is, the way they predicted him, Jeff he was a badass. And I remember at the time, he was somebody who's like, oh, that's Jeff. Like I became friends with him as years went on, but. Yeah, I heard the story of Vince being tied up to the tree and then tied up to the truck, and they stretched him out, poured fish guts on him. And that's what they did. That was kind of your initiation into the clubs.
Anything happened to you like that?
Shit, I mean, I've had Vince hate me for a year.
Hated you for a year?
Just woke up one day and just not like me. And he does that to he did that to all his best friends.
Did he really?
At some point, and then all of a sudden, just as quick as he didn't like you, he likes you again.
Yeah.
Just I think it was because I made a sticker. So I had a Ruffo sticker back in the day, and it was a circle, whatever. And Vince had crossed out, the surf part of it, so it was like anti-Ruffo, whatever.
Yeah.
But I would laugh. So one night, my friend Eugene Doviditis, who's an artist, did the sticker for me. I told him, yeah, do the sticker, because Vince was he was making these no-nose surfboards with big fat tails. And he was hogging all the waves. And he would drink beers and smoke a cigarette, So I had to make this
sticker.
I had to make this pig with this big old navel belly, smoking a cigarette with a beer, and it had a VC twin fin under his thing, and it said "Wave Pigs," and it had a thing through it, right? And I seen Vince at the gas station. Probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but we were good friends by then. But I just thought it'd be funny. I wasn't going to make a bunch of stickers or anything. I just artwork.
He didn't like that.
I didn't ever make a sticker. I showed him the artwork, though.
Yeah.
I think I have the artwork somewhere. He laughed about it at the gas station at that moment. It wasn't more than a day later. He hated me. He probably thought about it that night, and it was game on for him. And that's the beginning of the year of him just chasing me around the lane, like paddle out of Stockton to chase me in, and just doing a VC. I seen him do it with the Big Bird. I seen him do it with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he loves you. You know what I mean? And Vince, I couldn't have had a better friend, and had a lot of fun with him. And we camped out, and we had a lot of fun. Vince was somebody who influenced me in a lot of ways,
So what are you going to do with all those memories you have? Are you going to write them down, or are you going to? What are you going to do? But
it'd be cool to do something. And here's the thing, when we
because you went through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and I think it's important to share history.
Yeah.
I feel that I was shared it from guys before me, and I think it's important because these kids these days, they don't get the same.
They're entitled.
Well, they have it. It's a different time, and I get it. Like you get drove to the beach and mom films you, all that. That's rad. Like we didn't have that. I had to ride my bike down Bay Street.
Right.
I starved myself because I wanted to surf all day. It was a different. But I get it. It's cool that they have all that. But I think what's more cool is to also know the history. Like, so when we get to go in the van together, Toyota Santa Cruz hooks us up with vans for our
Judy says hi for goalie.
Oh.
She told me to tell you hi.
Yeah, now we got the guy Simon.
Yeah.
But anyway, Toyota Santa Cruz hooks up these vans, and we go down to these vans, and we're with the young crew and get to tell the stories.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important.
For the kids to hear.
Yeah, because I think you're teaching them to tell their story at some point.
Yeah.
Along the way,
and they realize how easy
they might. And I always tell them, hey, one day I'm going to be gone, and you're going to be seeing Ryan in this van, telling some kid
your story.
And I go, it's important. I think it's important.
The kids listen to your stories.
Of course.
They do.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid. I listened to them.
Yeah. You had to.
JT and all their stories. And there's good
How's
stuff.
JT doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's hanging in there, man. I just got a board. Actually, I got a board. the twins are from him. It's getting glass, but yeah, you know, he's still shaping all the time.
I feel like I'm gonna get all these boards of people that just aren't gonna be around anymore.
Well, that's one of the reasons why.
Down the road.
Joey also was a big influence.
For you, yeah.
Big influence for me.
Yeah.
You know, he made a lot of
In
my
what way?
boards. Well, he always would encourage me. Like when we were hanging out as I was a youngster, he was one of the first guys. You surf good. Just I want to make you board. You know, make you surfboards, and then I'd surf, and he would tell me when I'm ripped. Just all those little things from a guy that was somebody you looked up to was important for me.
Yeah.
And then he would start making my boards, and actually, the first time I won the first event was on a Joey, and the next time I made a final was on a Joey.
Yeah.
So Joeys were something that helped me surf.
Do you remember your best day surfing?
My best day?
Yeah.
There's a lot of days. Even now, there's still. Even my good days now, I really hold my heart because they're getting less and less.
Yeah.
But when I do have a good day, it feels really good. Man, that's the thing that keeps driving you is the feeling that.
Do you have a favorite decade? You have a favorite time?
Well, I mean, the '90s for me because we were on top then.
Yeah.
You know, I had everything. But it's all, you know, I look back on it all. It's all good. Like even now, like I get to help. You know, I get to share my experience of being a surfer with soldiers. And have a platform to, you know, Van Cross has this Operation Surf, and it's, I mean, first thing I tell them is, you know, when I'm helping somebody, you know, you get, first day you get connected with a guy, that's who you're a guy or two guys you're going to be with the whole week. And I tell them, hey, just so you guys know, you're going to be helping me too. Allowing me and trusting me to, you know, hear your stories and go surfing with you is also helping me.
Of course.
And taking that. And so at the end of the week, it's like we see the change in them, and you have new friends now. And same with Maliola, you get to take kids with cystic fibrosis surfing, and it's important for me to be able to have a platform like that.
There was that gal who came on the show once. What was her name? She passed away with cystic fibrosis.
Melissa.
Yes, started with M.
Melissa.
She was sat in front of me. She sat in front of me at KSCO. She looked beautiful. She was smiling.
Warrior, complete.
Right
warrior.
in front of my nose right here. And a week or two later, she passed away. I couldn't believe it.
She wanted to get it. So she had cystic fibrosis. If anybody's not familiar with it, you know, your life expectancy, it's a hereditary lung disease that you can only get by two genes, mother and father, and they don't even know they have it. They have a kid, and then so anyway, the life expectancy used to be 20. I think it's 30 now because of the medicines, and surfing's a natural therapy. Saltwater therapy helps break up the mucus. But with her, she got a lung transplant because she wanted to surf again.
That's right. Yeah.
That was the most important thing for her. So she got this lung transplant through hell. I couldn't even. I mean, but then.
No, I remember.
But then got the lungs to work, and her boyfriend at the time, Joe. She was back in the water.
Yeah.
And she was surfing.
Right.
And they was taking her surfing, and it was the raddest thing. And then you know, that it's a hard one because you're constantly taking pills. And, you know, I can't even imagine getting new lungs. Like, can't even imagine. Can't imagine. So eventually, you know, succumb to the.
Yeah, I remember that.
To the whole
Melissa.
thing.
What's her last name? Remember?
It starts with a P. It's a long.
I remember it. Oh yeah. It's like some kind of Greek name.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
But her parents have been, you know, did a lot of fundraising for the cystic fibrosis stuff, and she was just a remarkable person, a warrior, you know, just a fighter, straight fighter. But to me, I just
tell everyone your history in the cold water. You compete in the cold water.
Yeah. So the history, well, the cold water. So the first contest, first pro event here in Santa Cruz was the '85 PSAA Hotline sponsored that one. And so, but people consider it like the cold water. They call any contest in the lane now cold water.
Yeah.
But the first cold water, I think, was in '87. So a couple years later, O'Neill saw how big the PSAA was starting. You know, was that they made it a championship event. Back then, you could get into a championship event by doing the trials.
Yeah.
You'd have a trials before the event. You know, so that's how they did it. I think '87, '88. I think. One of them, I got out of the trials and I got into the event, and I think it was the first year I started riding for Rusty, and Rusty had brought me up a brand new board. And,
did you like it?
Yeah, well, I rode it. I should have just kept riding when I was riding, but I wanted to ride.
Yeah.
You know, and so I ended up losing the first heat in the main event. But you know, after that, they'd had Billabong took it over, so the cold water was actually run by Billabong.
Right.
It wasn't really called the cold water; it was part of the PSAA. But they ran it for a long time till O'Neill's took it over again and had like a few events at the end of the '90s, I think. And I think one of them, 2002, Adam won. I think it was Peter Mel. I got second in that one, and then Peter Mel won one. I got second in, and it was a I think in '97 it was a Clarion. I think O'Neill sponsored that one too, maybe. I'm not sure. But this year, you know, then they had a couple more championship events, and then they stopped it.
Yeah.
And so now I hear they're going to have one this year, which is a QS, which is cool, man.
Sean Burns came on the show a few weeks ago and said they're going to have it.
It's important. I think it's important for them to do something like that because I remember when we were younger and all those contests would come, the kids would get amped to see all these good surfers in town and see good surfing, and it really inspired the younger kids to get better. Yeah. To see this is what
these kids nowadays are unbelievable, huh?
Oh man, just Waggies and Sam Coffees and all these guys. It's just, yeah, they rip. There's a lot of rippers, man. There's a lot of kids that rip.
They're taking it to a different level than ripping level than when you were doing as their age.
They're busting airs, and the guys who do those airs and make them all the time. They make it look easy,
right?
And it is easy for them because they know how the technique. You know, they got it, and being limber, and knowing how to throw your body and the weight and arms and make it all work. You know, and once they get it down, they got it down. You know, yeah, it's just rad to see that. You know, and it's rad to see where Nat is. And, you know, he's 30 now, and you got Sam who's 20, and that even that 10 years, you know, what's important, the core surfing is still there, which is your power and you're connecting the wave. But, you know, Sam's definitely got a little more air show than Nat did.
Right.
You know, that's just a sign of the times, you know what I mean? So, not that Nat, you know, Nat's on the tour, right? So you still got that bar set for all these younger guys to try to, you know, and that's rad because you needed somebody in Santa Cruz to be there, so these other guys have this goal to go for, you know, so your kids, they all cheer on that. I watch it, you know, it's rad. It's super cool. I think it's important. And Rosie, it's definitely Rosie, bless her heart. Yeah. It was a blueprint of the surfer mom, the soccer mom.
Took him everywhere.
Well, she was the first one that I seen. I think she was the very first one in this area to do what you see now a lot of. Support the kid.
She put the miles on the car.
The kid lives 2 blocks away from the lane. I still drive him there because I want to focus.
Yeah.
I don't want him to go sidetrack the beach and meet a girl. Yeah. I don't want him to start smoking pot. You know, I'll homeschool him. Like we just couldn't understand that at that point. You know,
she knew.
I remember Flea giving Nat crap one day at the lane. We were on the rocks, and Nat was young, you know, younger. Flea was like, I think Flea was still, you know, coming out of his thing or whatever. But I remember he snapping back, wait, fucking lift 2 blocks, ride your bike. Sick, you drove down here, like, you know, mad at him a little bit. But and Nat was like, was sad, but then I thought, hey, don't give him shit, you know, whatever. Like, but when I thought about it.
Could you see back then he was going to be a star?
You could see it because you could see him coming up, and you could see what Rosie was doing, and it was rad because she, like I said, she kept him focused and taught him to be that person. You know, like, you do homeschool, I'll do this for you. I'll take you surfing, I'll drive you to this contest, and you can be the best you can be. Look at the product. Yeah. I mean, and that's just that. I love surfing with Nat. We call each other all the time. So we always hunt for good waves, and I get inspired by surfing around people like him that not only are the best at the time, but they're also showing respect to the people.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 60 soon. Yeah. Don't tell me that.
I'm cool,
40. I'm going to be 40.
Isn't that cool that Nat calls you still to surf with you, dude?
Yeah, right? No, it's rad because
I'm 65.
It's out of respect, and it's out of, you know, knowing that I like to go surf all the best waves I can find, so he calls me, you know, and then I'll call him because he finds the best waves too. And it's fun to surf with each other, you know what I mean? You know, like I'm friends with Dino, he's good friends with Kalohe, and we just all hang out a lot, and that's, you know, I got to go on a trip with these guys a couple summers ago, allegedly during COVID. But we had a great trip, you know, got to hang out with the San Clemente youngsters, and there's a whole gene pool down there, and it's just incredible.
So speaking of wetsuits, we talked about wetsuits today. By the way, we're at Blown Out Wetsuit today.
Yeah,
so if you want to get we're blown out today. If you want to get your wetsuit repaired, right here, Blown Out Surf Shack. You were sporting Isurus wetsuits. Isurus. Aren't they great?
Well, you know, the name is a scientific name for sharks. So it means sharks, basically. Yeah. You know, whatever Isurus means, a species of sharks. Shark. So yeah, I mean, Isurus is insane. Like, you know, like I said, I'm my age now, and I still get some free stuff. I'm stoked. And not only that, I get quality product, which is this Isurus stuff. Their rubber lasts. First thing I can say is, without a doubt, you'll have a suit. You buy a suit. You'll have it for 2 seasons. You'll have it for 1 winter and into the next winter.
And 2 seasons for you, because you're in the water every day.
All the time.
Yeah.
I have 2 suits. I go back and forth with the suits.
Yeah.
But they'll last all the way through summer into the next year.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the next spring, I'll buy a new suit. So it'll last me 2 winters.
Right.
And without feeling cold. And the only reason why I get a new one then is because, it starts getting old.
Yeah.
But it's different than other neoprene because the cell in there, the cells that keep you warm, the air, the density of the rubber, whatever, it's different. It doesn't break down.
Yeah.
So even though you might have a good suit from whatever company, the regular neoprene, it breaks down after a while, and it doesn't insulate the heat.
Yeah.
And these ice-rich suits, they do. That cell density stays there, and it's just a quality made by Cystic.
If you had 1 day left in life to surf, where would it be? The lane?
Anywhere I wanted to go?
Yeah.
1 day left?
1 day left.
And it'll be a good day at that spot?
Magical day. A magnificent day.
It's a hard one. It'd be
Back to Bells?
It'd be Desert Point. It could be a spot I've never been, maybe.
Yeah, but that's like riding a board you don't know in a contest.
Right, but the wave is really, if it's a good day, maybe Nibia there at that left sandbar, Nibia,
right.
Or deserts, or something to that effect. One of those kind of spots.
Yeah.
I don't mind cold water if it's a perfect wave. Nibia though looks like it's a hard takeoff.
Yeah.
But deserts was one of my favorites of all time because it's such a, once you get into the wave, you're set up. It's just a barrel ride.
You're doing good, huh? You're doing good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
You're doing good.
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, I got a blood clot in my leg. I still got syrup.
Okay, well that's not good.
That's not good. What am I gonna do?
If you need some help, let me know.
I appreciate that.
I know. Call a couple
This is
people.
Mr. Anthony Ruffo, live on the Overrated Radio Show. We always love him to come on the show. He's welcome back any time.
I appreciate.
He was our second guest, and sorry, TC couldn't make it. He sends you his love, but
it's all right. If
he's snowboarding.
We understand. We get it.
And we'll have you come back soon.
I like that.
God bless you, my friend.
Thank you.
I love you.
Appreciate it.